Hey everybody, this is Jordan from the band LÄMNING. If anyone out there watching knows uh, who that is already, that is amazing. Thank you for tuning in and watching. For everyone else, hello. This is the prelude to the promised update that I mentioned a month and change ago about some major things going on here with the band, with myself, with the new lair headquarters that I have set up here in my attic. So I've been struggling for a minute on whether or not to make this video. Uh, this is this is not the life and music and work update that I wanted to be sharing with everyone, but I think it's the one I need to make. I don't know if any of the rest of you have had a thing happen to you or have someone do something where it's so unexpected, absurd, at some point comical once the dust settles, that you're not really sure how to deal with it, how to share it, how to talk about it with anyone else. Don't worry. This isn't some sort of this is nothing horrific. Although I'll leave that up to you, the viewer, to decide. It is absurd, and I'm really beating around the bush here. But I will get to the story. There's a lot of exciting projects and updates and news and stuff I'm going to be working on, and stuff me and Marshall are going to be working on, and a whole host of exciting guests and collaborators along the way. I'm gonna talk about all of that soon. But for now, I realize I need to talk about this. I don't know if any of you have had this experience where someone else pulls a move that is so out of the blue, absurd, um, hurtful, sure, but just kind of gobsmacking, and you're not really sure how to talk about it with people because somehow, and I would imagine some of you have probably experienced this, where for some reason you feel like the jerk, or like you're being over dramatic for talking about it or sharing it. And this is, if I'm gonna cast what I'm doing right now in an altruistic, non-self-serving light, it is that I would like for other people in my position in the future who are new to music, new to music business, new to collaborating with other people, new to business, new to how you manage your relationships with the people that you work with, and how you keep yourself protected and safe and happy in the meantime. Anyway, that's the preamble. Let's talk about what's happening here. This is the pre-announcement to LÄMNING 2025 updates. So first of all, Jeremy Grafe has exited the project. He announced as much in our beginning of year call meeting in January. And I want to start off by thanking him deeply and earnestly for more or less giving me the speed run guide to how to survive and succeed in the Faire music world. We started talking in the beginning of 2023. We got connected by a mutual friend who more or less discovered me as a musician when I was a little baby Rennie at the Connecticut Fair. This is my first time playing in public, getting paid to do so in a professional capacity at all. And yeah, I got put in contact with Jeremy, and we talked for a while about our mutual interests and music tastes, and there's so much overlap there, and honestly, more importantly, about what we wanted to be doing and what we wanted to accomplish with our work, the kind of people that we wanted to be in the world, the ways we've seen our friends or colleagues or the people that we're around or working with make mistakes, stuff that we don't want to, mistakes we don't want to repeat. What became really clear from those conversations was that we were both interested in, yes, making cool music that was interesting to us and reflected our very eclectic collection of influences and backgrounds. Um, but more importantly, that we both viewed music as something of an expression of who we are as people, how we want the world to be. I'd like to think that you can, in fact, make the world a better place with music in some small capacity. And we were totally on that page together, and we started performing for the first time together in June of 23. And in the ensuing year and a half, we've really had a meteoric, from my perspective anyway, absolutely incredibly thrilling and successful time out performing. Getting to perform at fairs, getting to play finales, being in front of big crowds, small crowds, having people, having anyone, any person really actually touched by what we're doing, really appreciative, and seeing and hearing feedback from our audience. Having an audience is just amazing to me, and I will always have some sense of wonderment at that. And we got to do that for a year and a half. As someone who's still very new to this strange little corner of the universe, having someone who'd been there for a minute, more or less show you around, give you the quick start guide to working at the Ren Fair has been tremendously helpful. And in having the structure of this band together, and making an album together and performing together for a year and a half, I was able to build the confidence that I needed to start to become the performer that I want to be, the musician and the creator that I don't know if I ever really envisioned myself as 4 or 5 years ago. And so that's been tremendously cool and tremendously helpful. And I can't thank him enough for his and his wife Lori's hospitality out in Pennsylvania when we're out there working on music or playing at the fair. I want to thank him for that. And I want to thank him specifically for the final and biggest and really most impactful lesson, I think, that he imparted. And that lesson is that sometimes, if you trust someone who seems to go at great lengths to come across as trustworthy, if you trust that person to do the booking for your band, and you aren't looking over their shoulder and you aren't getting CC'd on the communications and emails with entertainment directors, what can happen is, first, that person could, hypothetically, book your band under his name. So let's say, for example, you show up at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair in August of last year and notice that all of the signage and all of the pamphlets and all the materials and the sign on your stage doesn't say LÄMNING, but it says Jeremy Grafe and LÄMNING. You might show up at the fair and be surprised by that, because that was not the understanding going in. You may further encounter this scenario where, if you are trusting enough or willing to give the other person who just did that enough leeway to maybe regain your trust and show that they are a mature and professional and forthright and decent person, as they had seemed to be for the last year or so, If you give them another chance to do the booking for your band for the next year, you may find out at a January Zoom meeting, you may find out shortly after hearing that that person is quitting the band, that they have in fact booked themselves solo for the entire year and have booked nothing for the band as a whole, and therefore you are out of a year's work and a year's income and a year of performing and building your professional life in the Renaissance Fair or anywhere else. So hypothetically, that is a thing that could happen to you. And I have now learned that that is a thing that can happen from one Mr. Jeremy Grafe. That's a move, man. So, yeah, so Jeremy is out of the band. And just to gild the lily here, as some of you know, we made an album last year, which I am still extraordinarily proud of. And I was informed by Jeremy that that album is his intellectual property, and I cannot use it for my own promotional purposes. And if I want to use anything from it, I have to re-record all of it. Now, of course, that's I believe in the industry we call that full of shit, and I checked with the relevant authorities that was the case, and no, it's not his sole intellectual property, and I'm going to keep using it as I see fit, and it is available on LÄMNING, LAMNING.com for purchase and download. It's also on Spotify if you just want to give it a listen. And while you might mistake all of this as wailing or complaining about what has befallen me, this is honestly, truly honestly, one of the best things that has ever happened to me as a performer, as a musician, as a professional, as someone looking to make my way in a world that is still new and exciting and a little terrifying to me. This was a really important lesson to learn, and it's really motivated me to get things done and make things happen and make music and make the music I want to make and find the people that I want to work with and set up my life and my studio exactly as it needs to be to do exactly what I want. And I don't know when I would have gotten around to doing that if it hadn't been for a fire getting lit under my ass by a unforeseen, truly astonishing, like anime villain level premeditated betrayal of the sort that I honestly don't think I've ever experienced in my whole life in any capacity, in any kind of relation. This is a new thing for me, and I enjoy novelty. So I suppose I kind of appreciate that too. And also now I get to share this story with all of you, and hopefully some of you out there who are maybe new to this world or even not so new to this world and wouldn't even fathom thinking about doing this to someone or having someone do this to you, now you know. That's a thing that can happen. So I am actually incredibly grateful that this has occurred. That I'm now free to do what I want to do and do what I need to do in conjunction with Marshall in LÄMNING for my own solo projects, for every other collaboration I want to do. On top of that, it's gotten me, kind of mad about it for a minute and feeling like I have to keep it inside or like it's some shameful secret. And honestly, I think that might be a lot of how people like Jeremy get away with doing what they do for as long as they do, is because oftentimes the people that they pull these moves on are too ashamed, embarrassed, I don't know, feeling like you don't want to be dramatic or messy out loud or out in public or at everyone else. And no, I need to share this with the world to move on and feel settled again, because this is, that was a head trip, man, having all that happen. So now you know why there are going to be limited engagements thus far. I believe me, I will be looking to find places for Lemning to play and perform the new sounds and feels and material that we're going to be working on, and a lot of the old classics. That's why, why I'm very sorry that those of you out there that are excited to see Lemning at your local fair, that we were very much intending, that I was very much intending to be at and working at, and see all of you and play music for you. That's probably not happening this year. The proposal season is October, November of the year before for Renaissance Fair performance, for those who don't know. So while I have put my name in the hat, if anyone in Pennsylvania or Connecticut or anywhere else that we would otherwise very likely be performing needs a substitute or needs a last minute replacement, very likely there will not be too many gigs on Faire for Lemning this year. The exception being the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. Thanks to the incredible flexibility and generosity of my good friend and bandmate, TJ Miller, the New Jersey Renaissance Fair has kept a slot open for Lemning, which is Marshall and myself, to perform. That is May 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, 31st, June 1st, 7th, and 8th in Columbus, New Jersey, New Jersey Renaissance Fair. I will be there. Marshall will be there. We will be performing as Lemning. I will also be performing, doing double duty with the Rowdy Bardlings. So in case any of you were worried about whether or not I would have anything to do this year, worry not. The Rowdy Bardlings are just about fully booked for the year 2025. We have a really exciting schedule. We are going all over the country. For those who don't know, the Rowdy Bardlings are we're a bunch of knuckleheads who play traditional Irish folk rock, Celtic rock, sea shanties, all that good stuff. And we're going to be around a lot this year. I will post all of the dates and locations for the Rowdy Bardlings this year. So you will, wherever the Rowdy Bardlings are for the most part this year, you will find me. And if you're at the fair and you want to hear some Lemning stuff or you want to say hi, if I'm between sets off the stage, come and say hi. I will take requests if you want. If you want to hear some Lemning material, if you want whatever, just come say hi. I will be around, and I'm really excited to be around and working and with the guys this year. The guys and Dana, our new drummer. Who may not be able to make it to a lot of our fair gigs, but if you catch us around St. Patrick's Day next month, she'll be with us, rocking it. So thank you all for sticking around for all of this. For those of you who made it to the end of this video, which is going to be God knows how long once I edit it down. Thanks for thanks for listening, because this has been a doozy this last month and a half, it kind of sucked, but as a result, I am putting together some really exciting things for this year for Lemning, for myself, for maybe for the world at large. We'll see. So stay tuned. I will have the actual Lemning update announcement. Here's all the cool stuff we're gonna be doing this year. Video coming out soon. And thanks for watching. this has been something really difficult and bizarre to grapple with in terms of how to think about it, how to talk about it, how to share it. And I would imagine some of you who have been in really unhealthy relationships in the past have maybe had this done to you or experienced this, where for some reason you feel embarrassed or hesitant to talk about what has happened, what this other person has done, this other person who clearly had no care for your well-being or any sense of decency or propriety. But you, the schmuck with a conscience, are stuck grappling with whether to share this, whether this is something over dramatic or messy to talk about. But you know what? I've decided it's 2025. The world is collapsing around us, and yeah, why not? I'm gonna lean in to being a musician this year, being an artist, being a little messy. If there's a lesson to be gleaned here, the GI Joe PSA at the end of this episode, it's trust your trust your guts, trust your instincts when people do things that set off even little red flags in you. It doesn't mean you have to act on it all the time, but listen to yourself. If people are acting in a way that shows that they don't have some fundamental respect for you, your boundaries, your needs, your arrangements and agreements, um, really anyone that violates your boundaries more than once and in any kind of flagrant fashion, yeah, you don't need to have them in your life. You sometimes you can't afford to have them in your life, because if you keep them around long enough and you stuff down those feelings or those suspicions for long enough, yeah, you might have that guy taking away a year of your work. And I know for a lot of you out there who are musicians, who are creatives, who are hustling and struggling and putting your nose to it every day to make the music you want, to make the art you want, to put a roof over your head in the end, that's a fate that I would like all of you to avoid, because it, yeah, could be absolutely crippling. Um, and again, I am tremendously lucky that I have another band to play with and perform with, and that I am in a position where this hit is going to be manageable for me. Beyond that, honestly, this, and I know I've spent the last however the hell long this video has been so far, uh, doing what may be construed as complaining, um, but this is probably about the best thing that could have happened to me. I have realized, on the one hand, just how much I need to step up and really start doing and experimenting and being dynamic and just moving and working and creating. And I've been doing that, and that's really been so good for me. And you are all going to see the results as I and Marshall and whoever else I'm working with start making cool stuff here in the Fortress of Solitude in my attic. Me and all of these ladybugs that you might see flying around, because I've got a ladybug infestation, which is a really cute infestation, but nonetheless.